All right, it's day 3 on the 1500 Ram. I came very early. I want to try and get a few hours in before I got to go to my appointments. Let me show you how early. Look at that, I beat the sun to work today, baby. I'm hoping to get the radio pulled, get the amp pro and everything plugged, dropped, done before I gotta leave for my appointments. So let's get to it, because yesterday we lost a lot of hours screwing around that amplifier. So with the amp pro's harness dropped down and ran, lasered out this plate real quick. This is gonna mount underneath the dash where that 7mm screw is. I'm gonna take it out, put it right here, and that'll mount right there up underneath. Harness can come over the top, plug in there, plug in our little cable. We have access to the reset button because we have to use that for programming. RCA's go in the bottom. I always label the top because the labels are on the bottom, and when you mount these, you'll forget which is which. So just front, rear, sub, and that's it. So I'm gonna go in there and take out that 7mm and we'll test mount this, make sure it's gonna fit. Radio reinstalled, everything's back together here. And I'll show you why a shop like me costs so much more than shops that aren't like me. So most shops, if they have like an amp pro, they'll, throw it behind the dash, or they'll just, kind of set it somewhere. There's nothing in this vehicle from the factory that's just laying there. Everything has a purpose as where it is. So that's how I try to approach when I do installs. So this is why you'll pay $50 at one shop and you'll pay $200 here, because it is mounted. Got a bracket mounted to the 7mm there. RCA's are coming right up, harness is plugged in. Everything is nice and clean. That thing's never gonna move, it's not gonna make any noises, but it's accessible if it ever needs to be serviced. Now that adds time to the install, which is why it costs more to have a shop like me or someone like me do an install for you, as opposed to the shop down the street that'll throw it in and just call it a day and take your money and move on. So I have less than an hour before I gotta leave for my appointments. So next step is the power wire needs to go through the firewall. So let's see if we can get this baby through the firewall before I have to leave. One thing I don't like about these transition glasses, with the door open and the sun coming in, they transition on me. And I look like a dork, and it's kind of hard to see. Power wire through the firewall. It's done, it's in there. Now I can take off. I will be back after my appointments and we will continue with this install, which we're pretty much ready now to get the amp rack holes drilled, mount the amplifier back there, kind of get it, where it's going to be, get the wiring hooked up to it. Then we can mount the subs in the sub enclosure, get it ready for the customizing we're going to do in the lighting. And then we also have to do the programming on the amp pro, where it reprograms the radio, and then we can test and make sure that it's working and getting data correctly. And then we also need to wire up a switch for the valet mode on these amplifiers, because remember, these new amplifiers have that valet mode where if you flip a switch, it cuts the power output down like 70%. So if you drop it off like a mechanic shop or you take it somewhere, they can't just beat on your system and play it. See you when I get back. Hey, I'm back. It's actually about 2 or 3 hours later because I went ahead, did the amp install, did the wiring. So the rack and everything I showed you before is now installed. I actually have the sub enclosure in here now, just make sure everything's test fitted good, but I still have the custom lighting and his logo and all that stuff to do tonight. So now maybe you get a better idea of what I was doing with that rack right there. See, doesn't that look nice? Just sits perfectly. You see the switch right there between the speaker leads, right there. That's the valet switch. I rhino lined that so it would match the sub box. Actually, looks pretty good. Kind of looks like it's all one big continuing piece. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and load the subs up. Then I can leave that in there permanently, because what I needed from it on the front, I needed to make my marks for the actual mounting holes for the acrylic piece. What I'm trying to say is I could have this thing finished in about 45 minutes, but it's the extra custom fab work that I'm doing that's going to make this go into the evening. I think I'm going to cut a couple pieces and then be done for the night. It's 9:30, 10 o'clock. If I get here at like 6:30 in the morning, 7:30 in the morning, I'll have plenty of time to get everything I want done. And my daughter is going to be detailing it, and then the customer will be picking up tomorrow, and then I will show you guys everything how it looks. So what I'm saying is, I'll see you tomorrow. What's up? Day 4 on the Ram. The customer should be picking it up today here in about 5 hours. When you see my area looking like this, you know my brain is working overtime, and I'm just like Jimmy Neutron in it. The guy's gonna be here in an hour, and I'm still making stuff for the truck. This is the problem with being a fabricator, is you constantly want to like make things. My daughter just got done detailing the truck. It looks amazing. The system is all in and done. I could not film because I was just running out of time, but I got the sign in and everything. The sign doesn't sit back underneath the edge of the seat as far as I thought it would. So the LEDs, when you look in from the back door, you're looking right into them and it's blinding. So I've just made this frosted cover to snap over these. Let's see if this is gonna work. So it's that frosted piece I just put in. On the side, you can see where the LEDs start. I would have made it go all the way down the side, but the piece wasn't long enough. I don't have long enough acrylic to make it all the way around. And then there's the front of the sign. So that's the name of his company, Off the Muscle. It's really made to be looked at from the inside, looking back. I thought this was funny. So these are his keys. So these are all like sample things I made with his logo. So obviously I have no use for them, so I made him his keychain. It's ridiculous. Now originally I wanted it to be clear so you'd see the words through the light, but I wasted probably $200-300 worth of material trying to make that happen. The font that he has for his company logo is so complicated to try and laser and to try and make see-through. I did all kinds of etchings, I did all kinds of stuff, and it just looked like crap because the font it looks messy when it's just etched or lasered like that. It's weird. He wants to come back and get lighting underneath. So the lights I used here are the stinger lights. So if I get stingers for underneath his truck, all these can tie together, and that's kind of the point. So I want to do all that and then also do the amp rack, which I can go ahead and show you the amp rack too. So underneath the seat here, it's sub enclosure, and there's my floating rack holding the amp. The cover, I still need to put the cover over the top because I'm done tuning it. Looks pretty nice and clean, easy way to show it off, and then it just closes right up. And then he's got his lights there. If he wants to change out that sign, like when he comes back, if he wants it to be some kind of like clear or something, I can do it. I just need to have the materials here, but I already have all the files because I created them. So everything has been saved. So we can easily change that out. It's actually just got 5 screws that are actually holding it to the enclosure. They can be taken out. Something different can be switched out. I can do all kinds of stuff with it. So it's very cool to have it the way it is now, just because everything works. It shows off his company logo, and I didn't charge him like thousands of dollars for this. This is kind of a little teaser because I think you probably will get more work done in the future. So this is kind of just me showing him what else I could do, and this was like minimal. Like I spent more on materials than I charged him for that. And how does it sound? Because that's what matters. Now obviously through the phone sounds like ass, but everybody always wants to hear it. It's kind of weird.
In the Midwest where the cornfields sway, got a wizard with the lions turning rise of gourmet. In the land of the Hoosiers, hear the subs hit deep. Custom audio, reimagine where the beats sweet. Game sights at the helm with the lightest touch. From Pep, my rise name to Indiana, he's clay. Golden ears, silver tools, he's the shop's backbone.
Yeah, I got a theme song. What? I mean, it's clean. It's not super bass heavy. It's not like, oh, dude, people are going to hear you coming a block away, which you can't really do under the seat of this year Ram. If you saw where the amp is, there's just no room to do it. You can, if you do the raise, you can get lifts that raise the back seat up like 2-3 inches, and then you can put in like a Fox box, like Fox Acoustics. I'm pretty sure they make like a big ass ported box that rips in here. But this vehicle, you wouldn't be able to do it unless you relocated those bars. because the back seats latch. So those latches would no longer line up. So the back seat wouldn't be held up in place. So I really don't know how you would do that in this one without having to do a lot of modifying, which would suck. The other way, if you want to get a ton of bass in like one of these, is you would do like 8 or 6 8-inch forward firing subs in a ported enclosure, because height wise you could fit, but in this one you actually couldn't. I think you could only fit 6.5s, because I was thinking about it. I mean, you could do 8s, but you'd have to come outside the enclosure, like rounded tops. Anyway, I'm just babbling now. Hopefully he loves it. If not, it's gonna suck and be really awkward here in about an hour. As far as the bass knob, found this nice little piece of trim right here. Just unsnaps. And if you finagle it just right, there's clearance back there to fit the bass knob. I think that's it. That's gonna be the end of this 4-day adventure. Should have been 3, but the Alpine amp definitely gave us a run, and I kind of lost my mind with fabricating and having fun. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks for watching.